Hello and welcome to Andy's Cornish Creations. In this video we're going to be making some bottle openers. Nice simple project, sort of thing that a beginner can do, someone new to wood turning. I've got a piece of wood about 5 inches long and about 1 inch by 1 inch, and I've got it mounted between centres, and I'm turning it to round using a spindle roughing gouge. You don't have to use, if you haven't got a roughing gouge, you don't have to use it. You can use use any spindle gouge, or indeed a bowl gouge. But I do have one, so I'm making use of it. There you can see the paddock has 2 different colours in it, depending on whether it's heartwood or sapwood. That is a centre finding bit. I do find that useful because when you bring a long drill bit up to a point, it can wobble a bit, but the tough little centre finding bit tends to find a truer centre, so I'd like to use that first. You can see there it's just starting to be a bit of a wobble on the drill bit, and I'm drilling that down so that the metal bottle opener part will screw into the wood. And I do say at the end what size this is, but you've got to use a piece that's appropriate for the bottle opener. And there, I just while it was turning, I just allowed it to go in on its own and thread itself into the piece of wood. Right, with the bottle opener metal part still attached, I'm rounding over the end just so that I can get it looking right with the metal. Just carefully rounding it over, trying not to catch the metal part. And there I'm using my 3/8 inch spindle gouge. That's near enough for finishing it off, so I can take the metal part off now. It's got quite a long thread, which is a good thing because it's less chance of it breaking when you're prizing a bottle cap off. And with the metal part off out of the way, I'm using a skew chisel just to square up the very end and tidy it up. And now I know that it'll fit nicely. Right, I've got it the piece into the pen jaws on my chuck, and just refining that end. And then, there's ivy just popped into the background there. And just making up a shape. I've got a rough idea what I'm going to do, but very much a case of making it up as you go along. And of course you can make yours whatever shape you like. Just bear in mind not to go too thin at any point, because the hole's drilled out and you wouldn't want to go into that hole. Just marking there with the thin parting tool where the bottom of the handle is going to be, so I've got something to aim for. Just a little reminder reminder there to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell. That's more or less the shape I want, and just to refine it I'm using a 1/2 inch round nose scraper. And I'm putting some little lines in with the pointed scraper there, and that's going to be for me to get the wire in to burn some lines, just to add a bit of interest. Here's the wire, and burn some light, get the speed up to about 2000 and press that wire on, and remember not to wrap that wire around your fingers, because if the lathe grabs hold of it, it'll take your finger off. Right, so that's the shape I want, got the lines on, and now sand from 180, oh no, it's 120 up to about 400. Not got too carried away with the sanding. And now I'm applying my abrasive paste. You can see the shine starting to appear. Turn the speed up again. I slowed it down for the sanding. You don't want it too fast when you're sanding, it's not necessary. Also it gets very hot. And then I do turn it up a bit when I'm applying the abrasive paste. And then I'm using my wood wax, both of which are on previous videos if you want to have a look how to make it. Then just remove any excess paste and get it out of those little grooves with a paper towel. And then I do like to use a cloth to buff it up to finish it off. And there it is, lovely shine on it. Remove the tailstock. I'm just putting the metal part back in, just to make sure everything's okay. And then use the 1/2 inch parting tool to part off. And I like to do it with a parting tool because it leaves a much tidier finish, and then there's much less to have to sand. I decided at this point that I could do a little bit more sanding at the end, just to save having to do it by hand. I can use it while the lathe's spinning. So a little bit of sanding right down in the end there, and then I'll go back at it with the abrasive paste and the wood wax, and then finally part it off. And there you see there's very little to finish off. Right, so that's that one done. I've already drilled a hole in this one and turned the end over just exactly the same as I did on the previous one. This is a piece of oak. It's going to be a slightly different shape, and I want to keep this one quite simple. And I think this one probably a little bit shorter than the last one. They both started out with I think about 6 inch lengths, and the actual handles when they finished around about 5 inches, which just allows me that 1 inch to have in the chuck. keeping this shape very simple. But I am going to embellish it with I think 3 beads, just to add a bit of interest and possibly a little bit of extra grip on the handle. So I've just gone in with the skew, just to create the definition of the beads, and then I've got a 3/8 inch spindle gouge, the one that I use with a finer point, just to round over in between those lines and create the beads. So pull away the tool rest and start the sanding. 120 grit down to 400 as usual. There's not a lot of sanding to do on this. And then my abrasive paste. Make sure you work it into all the nooks and crannies. I've turned up the speed to heat up that wax that's in the paste, and just to speed up the process, and then apply some wood wax. Again, just going around and making sure that there's no excess wax in the grooves, and then a soft cloth just to finish it off, and there, lovely finish, nice and simple. Again, turn the lathe on slow. This is in 2 times speed, but now we've got a bit of a slow-mo for some reason, and that's the reason. I held on to the metal part a little bit too long, and it broke off where it was attached, but it's not a problem. It was an easy fix. I just have to round that off now by hand. So there we have it. Nice simple project, bottle opener. This is actually a piece of, I think it's Padouk, pretty sure it is, but it was an old garden stake that I got at the garden centre. I'm quite lucky to find that one, I think, and I got a decent length and managed to get a few bits and bobs off it. That one is in oak. They're all about 5 inches long and roughly 1 inch in diameter, but of course you can make them whatever you like. And that's just got a bit of detail on it, and basically you can play about with them however you like. And another one there, that one's in oak, and this one's oak, and this is a simpler version, but still 3 burnt rings on there. And the only thing that has to be critical at all is the hole in the top, which added an 8.5mm hole through it, but it very much depends on the bottle opener that you get, the kit. So bear that in mind. Just make the hole correspond with the threaded bar that you've got on the end of the opener. Yeah, so 3 lovely bottle openers, all unique, and they sell great at a fair or anything like that. So have a go. If you liked it, give it that thumbs up, or is it that one? I can never remember. Share if you can, that helps a lot, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you could do so, that would be great, and ring the little notification bell, and that will let you know when the next video is up. And also, if you can leave a comment, I read all the comments, and I reply reply to as many as I can. So it's just started raining, but it's lunchtime now, so I'm off to have a bacon sandwich. And from a wet and cold Cornwall, my name's Andy Paramore, this is Andy's Cornish Creations, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.